What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to GNR Frank. My name is Francisco, and today we're going to talk about another gaming headset. Let's go. All right, y'all. So if you've been following my channel for some time now, you know that I do a lot of gaming headset reviews. Wow, big news. But I usually stick to the brands that I am personally familiar with, the HyperX's, Steel Series, Turtle Beaches, etc. But lately, or recently I should say, one of you fine YouTube people recommended a brand to me that I had never ever heard of. And I said, hey, you know what? Let's do that. Let's try a headset from a brand that I am not even familiar with. And that is none other than the Redragon Zeus H510 gaming headset. Right here. I saw this headset in a comment. Somebody was left on the video. I'll put the picture here and shout out to the YouTuber who recommended this for me. Okay, so I got the package in, I opened it up, and here's what came in the box. We have a PCY adapter. Bonus points for this one. Detachable microphone. We have the audio cable, of course. You have to have this if you want to, play with your headsets. Those are important. 3.5 millimeter analog jack to USB cable with an inline volume control. More on that later. And the actual headset itself, right here. Ta-da! Cool, see? Nice little headset, right? So you look at this. I looked at this when I opened it. I was very surprised, to be honest with you, because I saw this and I was like, hey, this doesn't look cheap, because I thought it was going to be some cheap stuff. I really thought this was going to be a cheap headset. Price wise, it was, by the way, too. It was like $50. But I looked at this, I opened it up, I'm like, yo, this actually has some pretty solid design elements. So number one, we have aluminum band, a metallic band on the inside. Number two, incredibly flexible. Like, I am not going to break this even if I tried. Number three is the very plushy, cushiony ear pads. Very comfortable. I love them. They're great. Okay. Number four, pretty clean aesthetic. Nothing too crazy, right? We've got I think which I would consider to be a pretty gnarly dragon logo right there on the ear cups on both sides. I like how it's got the matte black finish, like the, I guess, gunmetal grayish tone here on the inside of the ear cup. I like the metal band color also. And it's even got red because, well, this is Redragon, so I figured they had to throw red in there somewhere, right? Now, let's move on to fit. How do these things fit? Because God knows that is incredibly important for somebody with a cranium of my size. I've also had a lot of coffee already, can you tell? And they're also kind enough to label it for you. Now, this is just a personal gripe, okay? But personally, I would prefer to have the L's and the R's on the inside. I don't want them on the outside, but then again, none of you are really looking at me when I'm playing these games, except for when you're watching me stream, hopefully. Anyways, let's see. I'll put it on, and the first thing that I've noticed immediately was that, hey, holy crap, these are somewhat comfortable. They're not 100% comfortable at that exact moment you put them on, and that is because there's the space right here for inside the ear cups. It's almost very narrow. Now, I'm not sure if that has anything to do with my ears being somewhat larger than probably normal, or I think they're in proportion to my size, but I think than an average human being, they're kind of large. So in order for me to get a comfortable fit for the headset, I have to kind of wiggle it around and get my ears to actually go into the actual ear cup. All right. Once I get them positioned that way, it's actually a very comfortable headset for the time being. I've have been using this for several days now. What I have found is that during long gameplay sessions, I've had to eventually start like readjusting and just kind of like doing this here and there. Not wholly annoying, but annoying that I still have to do it anyway, because honestly, sometimes it's happened at the most inopportune moments. I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it has happened during some pretty intense fights where it's like it's starting to bug me and I have to stop and I have to kind of like do this, but I'm also in the middle of the fight and I'm trying to make sure I'm not about to let anybody die on my squad, because we don't do that in those games. Other than that though, once you get it adjusted to yourself, it's very comfortable. It's not super lightweight. It's got some heft to it, and you can tell that it's there, but it's not too annoying. It's not too overbearing, if you will. The next thing that you're going to notice once you slip the headset on is that it is a closed back headset. I feel like I'm having to yell because I can barely hear anything coming out from outside, and you're not going to have too much of your sound get out of the headset too. So for those of us who usually play in noisy environments, this will be a phenomenal headset for you in those regards. Okay, now take that off, and I gotta say that overall build quality, I give it like a slightly tilt of the thumb upwards. I think that a headset should automatically and just come out the box be automatically comfortable with little to no adjusting on our part, with the exception of the actual length of the headband. But the fact that the ear cups themselves are a little thin in this regard right here, this little part, it's a little odd because every single time I put this on, I have to adjust it. Whereas other headsets I've used in the past, there's no adjusting. You put them on and that's it, and that's a wrap. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these. If you decide to look at these, you do get what you pay for, right? So overall, the build quality isn't massively disappointing. It just has a couple of issues that I personally have some issues with. All of the cables are braided, which are really, really cool, and that's awesome. I think that's just be an industry standard at this point. And other than that, that's it for build quality. So how about we talk about the gosh darn sound? All right, y'all, when we talk about sound, I was very, very surprised with how great this headset actually sounds. I was expecting to get something subpar based off the fact that it's a brand I'm not familiar with, and it's also a very relatively cheaply priced headset. Wasn't expecting anything great, but I got great, okay? So the first game that really stood out to me was Forza Horizon 4. I played that on PC. And I used this headset using the provided Y adapter straight to my motherboard. I used it using the provided USB cable, and I also used it using my mix amp, my Astro mix amp for my A40s, okay? And every game that I've played, I've used in that exact same setup, with the exception of PlayStation 4. With the PlayStation 4, I used it straight to the controller, and I used it straight to the mix amp, both ways, okay? Here's the thing. Being that this is a closed back headset, playing Forza, I had to do a dirt race on some gravel roads, and you can hear every little pebble hitting the sides of your cars as you're just blitzing right through everything. And the soundtrack was punching me right in the ears. It was incredible. I was literally like surprised and shocked as like how clear and how much power there was in these things. And these are 53mm drivers. Okay, I've never used 53mm drivers. I've only used 50 and below. So this is my first time experiencing 53, and if the 3mm make that big of a difference, wow. Because that shit punched me like a sack of bricks, okay? The other game that I will say that I use to test is also, as you may well know, is PUBG. The reason I use PUBG is because I think PUBG has some pretty decent sound design when it comes to the weapons and the bombs and shooting and explosions, but it also is a game that you have to heavily rely on soundstage to be able to identify where people are coming from. And this headset did not disappoint in any one of those fronts. As a matter of fact, when I got snuck up on a couple of times playing the game, the gunshots were so visceral and so brutal that it actually scared the shit out of me a couple of times. But overall, the headset sounds absolutely amazing, and it sounds amazing any which way that I used it. Straight to the motherboard, using the USB cable, using my mix amp, my Astro mix amp, using it straight to the PlayStation 4 controller. I got great sound for the price every single way. So all that leaves now is the mic. So let's check out the microphone. All right, so the microphone on the Zeus H510, I keep getting the 5 and the S confused. The microphone on the H510 headset is surprisingly pretty damn good. It does have its flaws, okay? And this is the microphone that you're hearing. I'm not using my Shure microphone. I'm not using this, is completely muted off. I'm recording this through Audacity on my PC. The cable is hooked up straight into its USB counterpart right here, okay? So the microphone sounds awesome, in my opinion. I think it sounds super clear, but the only complaints that I have are this. It's supposed to be, and it looks like it out of the box, like it's a flexible microphone. You can move it around and, you know, and contort it to your face in a way of your choosing. But when I do that, it just resets itself back down. That's kind of annoying because the sound quality that you're going to get when I have it this close to my mouth and how clear it is and how much better it sounds, in my opinion, is a little different than what you're going to get when it drops down, even just that little bit. Okay, so that's kind of a problem. It's not a deal breaker, but it's kind of a problem. The other thing that I'm a little iffy on is this little control device right here. So the control device allows you to control your volume, increase or decrease your volume, mute your microphone, and nicely enough, I do like the fact that they have a button to actually mute your audio, which is really cool. Most headsets with inline controls do not have this feature, and I think this is actually a very valuable feature to have. The only problem that I find with this is that it doesn't clip onto you anywhere. So if I let this go, I have to find it and then use it and press it and touch it. Okay, that's my only real complaint here. Other than that, it would have been nice if the standard analog cable would have also had some sort of inline volume control, because since it doesn't have inline volume control, you have to control your volume through your PC. And that's not a problem when you're not in a game. When you're in a game, you have to pause and go to the master volume and whatnot. Fortunately for me, I have an Elgato Stream Deck, so I have it set up to where I can actually control my system's volume from the Stream Deck, whether I'm in an application or not. But most people don't have that, or there are people out there who don't have that, and therefore they're gonna have to stop and pause their game, go to the master volume, set it up there. It's just a pain in the ass that really could have been easily avoided. But this is just me nitpicking. Here's the thing, okay, and I'm gonna close out the review here. This headset sounds absolutely amazing. It has pretty decent build quality. As I was trying this out right now with the microphone test, it was making some clicking noises that sounded like it was breaking on the inside, so that's very, very concerning to me. Hopefully I didn't break it. Okay, I'll let you know in the comments below if I did. Other than that, it feels like it's fine. It has some pretty solid build quality. It has some durability there, with the exception of that clicking sound. The cables are braided, so that's, I think, industry standard at this point. The main aux cord, if you will, is a little short, in my opinion, but once you use the PC adapter, it adds a decent amount of length, but it could have come in a little longer. That's what she said. And other than that, as far as build goes, I got no major complaints. I think that for 50 bucks, it'll deliver. The microphone is surprisingly really, really good. This is, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, one of the best sounding mics on a headset at this price point that I've experienced now. To be rivaled by, I think, maybe the HyperX Cloud Core headset. Now, the HyperX Cloud Core headset, I think, has better build quality, pretty damn good sound, really damn good sound actually, but the microphone's on it. So I'm very pleased that I took a bit of a risk on this, because this sounded to me like it was going to be a terrible decision, but I took a risk on it because I wanted to try something from a manufacturer I've never tried before. And I gotta tell you, though I won't be keeping this bad boy, I'm glad that I did. I'll keep a lookout now for their products more often, just to see like what else they put out, like what is their premium gonna look like. Because if this is not their premium, this is just entry level, it's decent. It's a good starting point. There are better headsets at the same exact price point, but at the end of the day, if you just want to have a Dragon next to your ear cups, go for it. If not, honestly, it's really up to you. There's nothing really telling me that I would tell you to stop from buying this headset. I think it would just be more of preference and aesthetic at that point, because like I said, between this and the HyperX Cloud Core, which are relatively the same price points, this has the best microphone of the two. The HyperX Cloud Core has better build quality, and I'm going to go ahead and say that they're practically pretty much on even ground when it comes to sound. I think the HyperX Cloud Core has the best fit though. This one, you're going to have to finagle a little bit, but you've already heard that, so we'll just stop there. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate all of y'all who have been subscribing to the channel recently. As of making this video, I'm 20 subs away from 1,000. It's been an incredible 6 months now. I think it's been 10 months actually, since around the time my daughter was born. It's kind of when it all started happening. So thanks to everybody who hangs out, watches my videos, comments, gives me feedback. I am not one person above feedback. So if you feel like I got to do something better, let me know. I'm very open to it. I wish you all the best. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Be good. Peace out. Take care.